in Southern California, it seems like the wildfires just come. It used to be like wildfire season. I feel like it's all year round. There's just no stopping it. A fire is extinguished and then another one starts, and sometimes they escalate into giant fires like that of the fires that we saw in the Palisades area, Pasadena, Altadena area with the Eaton fires. Ventura County uh, is also a precarious place to live. Most recently was the mountain fire in 2024, late 2024 in the Camarillo area. Maybe you heard of it because students from Cal State Channel Islands had to be evacuated. So these are really, really big deals. And there's a lot of community support, but one of the things that we realized could be possibly missing was support in the way of conflict resolution, mediation. How do we serve folks with these skills that our community mediation centers can offer? And so we have received a grant from the AAA in collaboration with NAFCOM to help us really look at ways we can engage with our community, support our community, specifically using mediation. So one of the things that we started with was just meetings. We all got together. You can see down at the bottom of the flyer, it's a collaboration between Groundswell, which is in Orange County, Peace and Education is in LA, as is Loyola. So Loyola Center for Conflict Resolution, it's attached to their law school. So the four of us are working together as a coalition. That is one of the things we decided to do, was to officially call ourselves the Community Peacebuilding Coalition of Southern California, to really examine and look for ways that we could actually practically help. So you can see that we are there offering, we can help with insurance conflicts, neighbor arguments, landlord tenant issues, contracts disputes, community dialogues, and more. We have met several times. We meet with NAFCOM in a group, as well with Cabrina and Audrey, really helping us to keep track on our work plan. So each community mediation center has like a separate work plan, but then together uh, we have this sort of common goal of what we want to achieve together. And there's something I really want to say about that, because it has been an incredible experience. Sometimes I think when groups like this is formed, we're really looking towards the unity we have in our mission, but we have had a lot of unity in our struggles. So what it has taken to really figure out what our community wants. It hasn't been easy to make connections. What is so fascinating and interesting is that the Loyola Center for Conflict Resolution has made some contacts at a senior center in their area. And my personal uh, sort of reflection on that is that sometimes these connections come in the places you might least expect them, right? And that's been really beautiful to hear about. Also has been a little bit difficult because we have this funding, we have this united front, we have this an incredible amount of skill set in our coalition to really bring support to folks who are experiencing displacement, to folks who are experiencing issues with rebuilding, to folks who are experiencing issues with insurance claims, but really finding those folks and getting them connected to our services has been a challenge. Like I said, we do meet once a month, but that meeting is what we meet with NAFCOM once a month, but we also meet separately. Oftentimes, NAFCOM's always invited, but we also meet to have our own discussions and our own sort of reflections together. And most recently, we hosted a listening session. I want to say that that was last week. I wasn't able to attend due to a conflict with a board meeting, but the kind of collaboration and intention that went into that meeting as far as uh, working together. And it was beyond who's going to do what, because that ultimately was our very last, right? That was our very last planning session. All right, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. But before that, there was a lot of group think and group encouragement. And probably one of the biggest learning lessons and takeaway for me, and I don't want to speak for the group, but for me, is that competition really happens at the low level. It's collaboration that happens at the top. And it's really this where we could have each been given this grant, right? And you go do your thing with your money, and you go do your thing with your money. And in some sense of the way, we might all be competing, quote unquote, trying to find clients or trying to give services, but together we create this support that really lends itself to the peace building work that we are trying to achieve. Um, I want to talk I want to talk a little bit about moving forward. We, excuse me, moving forward, we will probably, I think we have a meeting coming up here pretty soon. We will be debriefing what took place in the listening session. I've not had a chance to follow up on what the outcomes of that listening session were, but we will debrief and we will probably reflect on how we want to do another listening session. What do we have time to achieve? This grant is on a timeline. And one of the things that we are learning is that wildfires are not going away. So the idea of putting together a toolkit is part of what we're doing, but we also have been tasked with providing direct services. So that is something that we have really been longing to do, really are strategizing in how to do. Has not been easy, but we are, I think, doing our best to achieve it. Again, I do want to say thank you to the AAA. I want to say thank you to NAFCOM because the support and keeping us on task, keeping us united, has really been one of the best parts of this process for me. I don't know about the other folks in this room, whether you feel like you're kind of alone in the world out there doing this peace building work, but oftentimes I feel like I'm alone. I'm like, I'm the only one in Ventura County. And I realize that I'm not. So I've sincerely appreciated being part of the NAFCOM team, of this, um, a recipient of this grant. And despite the struggles that we have encountered, there have been a lot of successes on the back end as far as organization, collaboration, and our coalition. So I'd like to open it up to if anybody has any questions for me as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I do have a question. So I'm
Sure.
fascinated by something you said here. You talked about collaboration being what happens at the top level and the competition and what happens at
Yeah.
the ground level. I'd like to understand that a little bit more because I think your wisdom there might help kind of help us develop partnerships across the country.
Yeah, so I think I come from a business background. So my husband and I have been in the coffee industry for 20 years, actually, which is one reason why I can get up early, DG. So I'm used to early mornings. People in Ojai, I live in Ojai and Ventura County. They like their coffee early. So we are on site at 5:30 a.m. Plus, I drink a
Yeah.
lot of coffee too. Um, so I really learned that in the business world because there's this idea that we're all competing against one another. I live in a town of about 20,000 people. There are about 9 coffee shops, and it's very easy to adopt this scarcity mindset. Like, I've got my set of customers, or transfer that over to the nonprofit world. I've got my set of clients. I've got the folks I'm going to reach out to in my jurisdiction. I have my grant money.